Okay, in this second video, we're going to be looking at Galatians chapter 1, verse 2. We can see on the screen that verse 1 is written just near the top and verse 2 underneath it in a staggered form. And verse 1 has been written there for reference because verse 2 continues a sentence that verse 1 left off on. So let's read through verse 2 first. And all the brothers who are with me to the churches of Galatia. And you can see from that there is in fact a continuation of the sentence. So let's read through the start of verse 1, Paul, an apostle. Now you can see those two hyphens, which I've put a yellow circle around. They, as I mentioned in the previous video, indicate that everything in between those two hyphens is referring to Paul being an apostle. But in verse 2, we see a continuation of the letter as a whole. So Paul, an apostle, and verse 2 continues a little bit later, and all the brothers who are with me. So we can see here that as we go through, as I've already mentioned, verse 2 starts in the middle of a sentence with that word and all the brothers who are with me. But not only does it start in the middle of a sentence, you'll notice the language that Paul is using, and all the brothers who are with me. It is not just people, it is not strangers, it is all the brothers who are with me. And then also we can see again at the start of verse 1, Paul, an apostle. Paul is writing, and all the brothers who are with him. Paul, an apostle, and then go to verse 2, and all the brothers who are with me to the churches of Galatia. And this is really the key where the book of Galatians gets its name from, because Paul is writing to the churches of Galatia. As we did last video, I'm actually going to write the first letter of every word underneath, and then we'll go through and try and recite it based on those first letters. And this is probably one of the shortest verses in chapter 1, so hopefully it'll be one of the quickest to remember. All right, so just once we're done here, we'll start reciting. Okay, so let's recite verse 2 by looking at those first letter prompts. And all the brothers who are with me to the churches of Galatia. Let's do that one more time. And all the brothers who are with me to the churches of Galatia. Okay, let's take away all the visuals and just have the text on the screen. And all the brothers who are with me to the churches of Galatia. And again, let's take away everything but those first letters, and now you try and recite it. And all the brothers who are with me to the churches of Galatia. And all the brothers who are with me to the churches of Galatia. Now you can see on this slide I've actually put it into one line, and hopefully you can still recite it, but let's go through that quickly. And all the brothers who are with me to the churches of Galatia. Now the reason why I've put it on one line is so we can compile the verses like this, a new verse per line, unless it's a really long verse. But let's try and go through verses 1 and 2. Maybe you try and do verses 1 and 2 from memory, and then I'll say them to finish. Okay, let's say it together. Paul, an apostle, not from men, nor through man, but through Jesus Christ and God the Father, who raised him from the dead, and all the brothers who are with me, to the churches of Galatia. That brings us to the end of this video, and in the next video we'll be adding on verse 3.